There's no longer room for Ivo in the barrel, but I should be able to reach the other side with dry feet. My dad gave my mum one of those. You put a slate on this round plate and then carefully lower the needle onto the slate. And then you hear the sound of a needle scratching across the slate. Terrible noise, which is then amplified using that pipe there. That thing is too unwieldy for me. I'll only take the scratch loudener. A truly gorgeous piece of technology. Naturally, it was a hit in Gnome society. After all, it does make noise. But I kind of wish it would make other noises. Looks like a giant horn. Maybe the giants made them. Ugh, that stinks. Like, you know, something really bad. No, that's too high up for me. That's some sort of corrosive acid. No idea how deep the lake is, and I don't want to know either. Too deep for wading at any rate. I'm not climbing into a hole like that. Somebody else can do that.
No, it's okay, Wilbur, you do it.
But, don't elves have a better sense of direction?
You're much smaller than me, so you can squeeze your way through a narrow passage.
But
Get on with it. You want to be a hero, don't you? I would have leapt at the chance if someone had asked me.
All right. A barrel lid. Oh, a music puzzle. Wow, a ghostly apparition in the mirror. I need help.
This will help you.
A strong rope in good condition. Time to head back. But how? I get it.
And how was it?
The usual. A disc made of wooden planks cobbled together. Looks fairly new, just like the barrel. The rope is a good 3 meters long and right thick. I think it came from a ship. I can't reach. There you are.
Thanks.
A jelly glowfish looks anything but happy. No wonder. Stomach acid is not the preferred habitat for jelly glowfish. I know what these are. They let you breathe underwater. Grandad used to use these while fastening bombs to the bottom of orc ships. Unfortunately, the fuses kept going out. A lovely suitcase filled with all sorts of expensive clothes. Lace, silk, long johns, only the best.
A suitcase with human clothes. Too fine to be an adventurer's. Perhaps a merchant ship ran aground on the rocks out there and it belonged to one of the passengers. I would never, ever wear anything like this. Humans are renowned for their absurd clothing, but this is simply ridiculous. I can't see anything that would help us. We elves capture moonlight in crystal phials and use that for lighting. However, here a jelly glowfish will have to suffice. I'll tie the rope to the handle. I won't manage this on my own. Perhaps with Wilbur's help.
Yep, I'm strong.
And above all, heavy. That's what's important here.
Huh.
Doesn't work.
That wouldn't help. Ivo and I still wouldn't be able to get to the other side together. A piece of wood about 1 meter in length. We're not going to find a better paddle around here. A disc made of wooden planks cobbled together. Looks fairly new, just like the barrel. That wouldn't help. Ivo and I still wouldn't be able to get to the other side together. If Ivo can't pull the chest out of the wall by herself, I don't even need to try. Look what I found, Ivo!
Oh, I've got an idea. Crawl into the barrel, will you?
Okay. Are you sure this is safe? Oh! Never again.
At least we're both on this side now. Let's try.
Okay. Yoo-hoo!
Appears that we've done our big friend a big favour with this. A beautifully worked chest. Looks solid. The chest won't be that easy to unlock. We'll need to break it open. Perhaps we could freeze it and...
It doesn't always have to be so complicated. I can't get it open.
Looks like a complicated lock. I suggest that we ask Captain Bonnet. Perhaps he can deal with it.
I'm sure he can. But first we have to get out of here.
There's something else in the box. This thing will make your voice much louder. Shame, because most mortal beings speak unbearably loud as it is, even without one of these things.
There's something else inside. Grandad once woke me up with something like that for a whole week. He had his mind set on making a combat swimmer out of me and yelled at me every morning with it. I'm happy she's finally letting me help. It's probably best I don't talk to her, otherwise she might change her mind.
No time for a chat. doing there?
Maybe I can communicate with the monster.
That's never going to work. We're surrounded by tons of flesh and blubber.
Yes, but the sound of the horn is amplified, then re-amplified until it's about 1,000 times as loud in the end.
Physical humbug. Obviously.
I must have eaten something bad.
Did you hear that? It can talk. Hello?
Who's there?
I'm your, conscience.
That can't be right. I'm a monster without a conscience.
Then, maybe I'm your stomach.
My stomach can speak? What do you want?
I want to see something of the world too. I want eyes.
That won't be so readily possible. And anyway, what is there to see in this cave? The same old walls for thousands of years.
You are 1,000 years old.
You should know that. You were with me down here the whole time and were grumbling. Who are you really?
I'm a god.
And what do you want?
You should sacrifice something to me.
Why should I?
Because I am all-knowing and all-powerful.
Why should a sacrifice from me mean anything if you're omnipotent?
Because, then I will be assured that you really adore me.
You're omniscient, you already know. Who are you really?
Me.
Who is me?
Me.
Who is me?
We're two adventurers trapped in your stomach.
Really? I'm sorry.
Would you let us out?
No, I don't get my hands on food very often.
But there's no meat on us at all. I'm as thin as a toothpick, and I weigh less than a sheep.
Better than nothing.
Come on! We pried that chest from that gap in your stomach.
Which chest?
The chest that was plugging up the hole. It looked painful.
I don't know what you did, but I'm feeling better than I have in 100 years. Thank you.
So will you let us go?
All right then. But perhaps you could lure a few ships here. Or a whale or two.
We'll see. Goodbye. I thought that monster was really nice. Perhaps we really could send a ship or two.
You are sometimes so strange.
But if we...
What the?
Surprise, my pretty one!
But... Captain Nate!
Have you been working with them all this time?
Oh no, my dear, it's just that I happen to know which buttons to press with people like our human friend.
What did he promise you?
Our lives, mine in particular, and the treasure. All of it, except for one item which he wants to select.
I can imagine. Wilbur, don't hand over the artifact of divine fate, understood?
Understood.
The artifact of divine fate. Unlimited power.
Go away! I'm a mighty battle mage.
Sure you are.
Nate, you can't allow this to happen!
He'll focus on his own affairs. That's what you should have done, too. You... Ah!
Take the artifact to safety!
No! Ah!
How could you do that?
I've saved your necks. Well, yours at
You
least.
freed the sorcerer, all because you wanted treasure.
Do you seriously believe I thought for 1 second that Munkkus would give us a treasure hoard? I made a deal with Munkkus because it was the one small chance we had of getting out of there in one piece. Don't you get it? They would have pursued us and made our lives hell. And sooner or later we'd have fallen into their hands. No treasure's worth that.
Do you think anyone anywhere will have a quiet life if that falls into Motroga's hands?
I really didn't know. Hey! Hey, little guy, where are you going? Fine, just go. And next time, just tell me what it's... Wilbur!
He's waking up.
Ah!
Nice and calm now. You're safe here. We're zombies.
Somehow the expressions safe and zombies in the same sentence don't really make much sense. Apart from, the zombies will drag us from the safety of our houses and rip us to shreds.
You see, he hates us.
He's afraid of us.
And that's why he hates us. Our committee still has a lot of work to do.
What kind of committee are you talking about?
We are the committee for the humane treatment of the undead.
We're trying to improve the bad reputation that the undead have amongst the living.
And amongst the dead.
Because no one seems to like us.
Where is Wilbur? There was a trap and a shadow.
That was me. I knocked you down. You banged your head on a rock. Please, forgive me. I don't really have this body under control yet.
Why did you knock me over? What's happened to Wilbur?
He probably saved your neck.
Yeah. The chief orc from the camp set that trap. If it caught you both, then it wouldn't only be your little friend who's in trouble.
Wilbur's in an orc camp? Oh, man, and it's my fault?
How do you mean?
Oh, well...
Tell us, boy. As you can see, we've been blaming ourselves for this mess.
All right. My name is Nate. I was in Seastone by the Western Ocean. Then along comes this little gnome and wham! Everything goes black. Then I wake up and there you are.
You deceived him?
You were only interested in saving your own neck.
Well, it's not exactly like that. Shades of grey.
You should be wearing this pillory.
I've lived with pirates, cutthroats, but never, never.
Now just hold it right there. Maybe I did behave just a tiny little bit narcissistically.
You sold your friends down the river because you hoped it would help you get out of the whole thing in one piece? No. You have to get Wilbur out of there, and you have to free the elf.
I know, you're right. And I have to get the artifact to safety too.
I will help you if you meant that seriously. My name is Gulliver. You can find me up in my workshop. Come on, Body.
Isn't it a lovely day today? My finely tuned intuition is telling me you might have some troubles.
Oh, the trauma! The pain!
Oh, woman stuff? Or proper pain, like physical?
No! 1,000 times worse than that!
Looks like she shouldn't have gone into that deep water without her water wings.
It wasn't an accident. I wanted to kill myself.
It almost worked. Oh well, sweetheart, it's not all bad. Tell your Uncle Nate what's wrong.
Don't make fun of me!
Would I?
You men are so insensitive. Only he wasn't. He understood me.
Who is he?
Maximilian. My Maximilian. Oh, the most beautiful man who ever walked under the stars.
Yes, and then?
Gone. He is gone.
And that's why you wanted to kill yourself?
We were engaged. Maximilian and I were to be married. It was heavenly. I, the rich daughter of a mithril merchant, and he...
Get to the tragic bit, please.
I gave him chestfuls of gold and all my jewelry as a token of my love. He was going to use it to arrange the most beautiful wedding ever.
Ah, the con man hoofed it.
He did not hoof it! Something must have happened to him. He must have been held. Perhaps someone kidnapped him. And now he is languishing away in some tower and...
He hoofed it.
He will come back! And we will be reunited like two lovers on...
And why have you chosen to ruin the atmosphere in this particular crypt?
This is the resting place of his forebears. I will wait with his ancestors until I receive news from him.
Sounds logical. Well, it can't last that much longer.
I know.
As much as I'd love to spend more time with you, I have to get going. In there lies one of the ancestors of our watery corpse's fiancé. A tomb like that would have cost a fortune. The dead guy's family must have been loaded. Perhaps that's why she cries so much. The stone carving of the knight is very detailed, masterful. You can see every detail, from the black head on his nose to the seal on his ring. The stone carving of the knight is very detailed. A few dust-covered urns, most of them decorated with coats of arms. A double-headed eagle, a badger eating a snake. There's a king's head in orange and blue. And here, a green W in a lozenge. None of which means a thing to me. They mean nothing to me. I guess they must be the family crests of the dead. A few dust-covered urns, most of them decorated with coats of arms. A double-headed eagle. Hey, boss.
Ah, the living one.
What are you doing in that thing? And don't tell me it's a fashion statement. I've seen a lot of stuff, but that...
No, nothing like that. A paladin put this thing on me.
What did you do, insult his sister?
Well, you could put it like that. He put me in the pillory for it, but even then I couldn't keep my mouth shut. That's why the fair lady stabbed me. So I came back as a ghost and kept her awake at night. They sent a ghostbuster after me, and he actually caught me and killed me.
He killed a ghost? Cool guy.
I then came back as the first undead ghost in history and messed up the fair lady's wedding. As a result, the paladin conjured this magical penitence pillory around my neck. Now he's lurking around outside the crypt. I think he'd like to cut me up into little pieces and throw me into the sea.
Pretty nasty. You've hardly done anything to deserve that.
Oh, I don't know. I've had a lot of time to reflect, and I'd like to end this feud. It only causes unhappiness.
Why don't you apologize?
I've tried, but the paladin only wants revenge. He hurled his hammer at me last time.
That thing looks pretty uncomfortable. Can't you get the pillory off somehow?
Would I still be wearing it if I could? You've got no idea how impractical this thing is. Try scratching your nose with it on.
Or go to the bathroom.
Oh, don't remind me. This is a magical pillory. You can't just break it open. It's sealed for eternity. It'll only open when the paladin forgives me.
So, never then.
Oh, it would seem that way.
And how many of you are there? In the committee, I mean?
The group is still in its early stages. We only have 3 members so far. But the Spirit Union is associated to us, and the Federation of Programmers is thinking about finally going public with their undead status. Unfortunately, you can't become a member. You're too alive.
Thanks a lot. I better get going. See ya.
Take care, and remember, we, the undead, are your friends. Rancid-smelling, dead friends.
A grave. There are a lot of them here. I don't know what's supposed to be so special about this one, though. From the outside, there's nothing interesting to see, and I'm not going to open just any old grave on suspicion. The candles create the right atmosphere, creepy, yet still with a hint of homeliness. But this one isn't going to burn for much longer if it keeps dropping wax like that. The candles create the right atmosphere, creepy, yet still with a hint of homeliness. But this one isn't... A pot containing some gloopy glue. There's a small stick in it. I think it's that unbreakable thread that you hold roast meat together with. There must be a good 10 meters of it on the roll. Obviously, the skull-headed zombie was reckoning there still weren't enough horror characters here already. Obviously, the skull-headed zombie was reckoning there still weren't enough horror characters here already. Hey, Gulliver.
Ah, the living one.
Does your body maybe act a little kooky?
No, it doesn't. My body isn't finished yet. Or do you mean the old one? The rotten one in the ground?
I, meant that one there.
Oh, this one. Oh, it's not mine, just borrowed.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Whose body is that, then?
Esther's.
And who is Esther?
No idea. Don't know her. But this is her body. She's helping me until I've got mine back. Then we're both going to look for her head.
Esther.
Exactly.
How did you get to know each other, you and Esther's body?
For many years, I was in a grave out there. I chewed my way out of the coffin after my old body gave up the ghost. Then I saw this body outside, stumbling about, headless, knocking over gravestones, running into walls. I thought to myself, this is a sign.
And what you're making there, that's supposed to become your new body?
Exactly. Isn't it excellent?
Yes. Yes, it's, X something.
Unfortunately, the construction drags along a bit. I'll tell you one thing. Never ask a headless zombie to replace your arms if you want to build precision machinery.
I'll make a note of it. What's new? Doesn't all that wailing from that failed swimmer down there really get on your nerves?
Steady on. The young lady is suffering great distress. And she lets it out. Day in, day out. For hours on end.
So what's the story with her missing lover?
He jilted her, cold as ice, raked in her gold, and enjoys a sweet life somewhere down south.
She seems to think differently.
The good woman isn't really in touch with reality. She still believes everything will be resolved one day. She's waiting for him to appear or send her a letter. Anything at all.
I've got to get going. Breathe, feel my heartbeat, that sort of thing.
Don't let me stop you.
A flattened tube of yellow paint. I don't think there can be much left in it. Aha! There was still a bit in it. I don't need the tube anymore. This project's not looking all that hopeful, in my opinion. The pair of them seem to have some serious communication problems. This project's not looking all that hopeful, in my opinion. A head on a pole. What will the Peggy people have to say about that? A paladin in a pink-colored outfit? That's wrong. Just wrong. Are you a warrior?
No, I can't fight.
Are you a healer?
I can't heal either.
Then you're a paladin.
Huh. What do you want?
Know any good paladin jokes?
Why should anyone make jokes about us? We are the holy soldiers of the light.
In dresses?
This is a tunic.
Sure. You know that men who wear dresses are, as a rule, well, men who wear dresses.
What's that supposed to mean? Just because I wear dresses, use cosmetics, and take a general interest in my appearance?
Ah, so it is a dress.
The modern man is metrosexual.
That's news to me.
Well, my order and I have lifted ourselves up out of the mud in which you and your sort still wallow like pigs. We're cosmopolitan, hip, fashionable. We take care of our appearance and don't downplay our feminine side.
Yeah, whatever. Huh, the Wildlands. About the zombie you've stuck in the magical penitence pillory.
What about that maggot? Is he going to give himself up to his fate? Is that cowardly zombie finally going to come out here?
He's really sorry for what he did. He'd like to apologize.
Ugh, laughable. I'll cut him into little pieces and feed him to the fishes.
Nice. But couldn't you maybe forgive him first?
You've spent too much time in that smoky buffalo's tent. I would never forgive someone like that.
About your fight with the zombie.
That's nothing to do with you. That's between the zombie and me.
Have to go. Man stuff to do.
Ha ha.
A map of the region. Among other things, the paladin has marked the crypt. A map of the region. Among other things, the paladin has marked the crypt. A fashionable travel chest made from light wood. There's a logo on it. The Pink Crusaders. He's not looking right now. Why not? You can always use a pink-colored pom-pom. In the Wildlands. In the war. There was nothing else of any interest in it. Not that I'd find pom-poms interesting. A banner. The emblem on it could be the paladin's arms. It shows a sword, a shield, and red high heels? A banner. The emblem on it could be the paladin's arms. It shows a sword, a shield, and red high heels? A few small white mushrooms. No idea if you can eat them. A gruesome head. Kind of a cheap gimmick, because ultimately...
Ooh!
Ah!
What? What? Is there a spider on me?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. Those creepy crawlies drive me mad. Can you imagine what it feels like when they run up your neck and then start nibbling at your eyes from the inside?
Yes, well, of course.
Stupid paladin simply chops my head off.
Hey, stop that nattering. Leave the head alone.
Leave the head alone. Leave the head alone.
Why not? You can always use a pink-colored pom-pom. In the wildlands. In the war.